Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Best wishes to all of us. My name is Muhammad Adrianda. I'm a moderate of fourth group. Don't forget to say thanks to God because of His gift. We can complete our assignment well, especially in this course. Our group would like to present the results of our discussion about critical book report. Get on with it. Without wasting time, let's listen to the result of our presentation that will be read by my friend. Let the presentation begin.
Everyone, my name is Winda Rosa. I want to tell you about Identity Man book entitled Eric Thohir, Successful Politician Businessman. First, title, Eric Thohir, Successful Politician Businessman. Second, author, Dayu Pratyahara. Third, publisher, Brilliant Publisher. Fourth, city of publication, Yogyakarta. 5 years of publication, 2020. 6 pages, 176 pages. 7 book size, 14 by 20 centimeter. 8 ISBN 9786025861369. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nisriana Syafitri. Now, I will explain who is Eric Thohir and how Eric built his business empire. It's kind of fun to do impossible. There is written words on Eric Thohir Twitter bio. So, who is Eric Thohir? Eric Thohir was a young businessman meant up to be the Minister of State Enterprises by President Jokowi, son of Muhammad Teddy Thohir, known as father of the billionaire. Born in Jakarta on May 13, 1970 as the youngest son. Eric had a brother, Hiraka Fitaya, and Garibaldi Thohir. Eric Thohir is known as a family man, married to Elizabeth Chandra and blessed with 4 children, Mahatma Arfala Thohir, Mahendra Aga Khan Thohir, Makaila Ahmadiyah Thohir, and Magisa Arfeya Thohir. Then, how Eric built his business empire? By the time he was a young man, Eric is known as a gifted entrepreneur. Along with his brother, he has crossed the Indonesian business world even before he finishes his master's degree. After taking a few moments to have family business in culinary field, finally Eric decided to break away from his family company. Following his passion, Eric then pursued business on the field of sport, entertainment, and media. All 3 of his business were successful. Around 1996 to 1997, Eric started a trading business. Then, he and his friends began to explore the media business by establishing the Mahaka Group, start with newspaper, radio, online media, and Alif TV. In field of sport, Eric became a chairman of Persatuan Bola Basket Indonesia and president of the Southeast Asian Basketball Association. Eric Thohir also believed to be member of Federation International Basketball and also the founder and owner of Indonesian Basketball League. In 2017, Eric believed to be chairman of organizing committee for SEA Games in Indonesia. There are several reasons why Eric is successful in running his business that we can follow. First, he bought a company to match his passion. Second, focus on adaptability. Third, constantly knowledge upgrade. And fourth, networks. Eric Thohir is also a capable businessman, has the courage to innovate, and doesn't give up easily. So, this percentage from me then will be explained by my friends. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ros Anissa. I am from Group 1. I want to presentation about Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 from Eric Thohir's book. Let's start with Chapter 3. It's about Asian Games 2018 Unforgettable Prosperity. The holding of the 2018 Jakarta Palembang Asian Games on 18 August to 2 September 2018 leaves memories and pride in the hearts of all Indonesians. The success of the Asian Games is inspirable from the rule of Eric Thohir. Eric was asked to be chairman of the organizing committee of the Asian Games Indonesia. Eric Thohir can be said to be successful as the chairman of the Asian Games organizer because the biggest party in Southeast Asia can go according to plan, safe and smooth. The next, Chapter 4, is about getting acquainted with politics. His first step in politics was to become chairman of the national campaign team, Jokowi Ma'ruf Amin, in the 2019 presidential election. Eric was first offered as chairman of the Times on August 20, 2018, when he was still the chairman of the 2018 Asian Games organizer.
Hello, my name is Jessica Anggita Gultom. I come from Group 1. I will continue the summary of the main book entitled Eric Thohir, Successful Politician Businessman. Chapter 5, Entering the Palace. After going through various processes, finally Eric Thohir's life was side by side with the president. During his second term in office, President Joko Widodo and his deputy, Ma'ruf Amin, elected Eric Thohir to become Minister of BUMN. Elected Minister. President Jokowi said the elected ministers are figures who are innovative, productive, work hard and fast, figures who are not trapped in monotonous routines. On October 23, 2019, President Joko Widodo officially introduced Eric Thohir as Minister of the State-Owned Entrepreneurs BUMN. Sayonara Mahaka. Choosing to become a minister, Eric Thohir must withdraw from the Mahaka Group company he leads. Why did Eric Thohir have to resign from his corporate position? According to Asserf, it is felt that there is a conflict of interest considering that Eric is the owner of number of company and is still active as an entrepreneur. Homework BUMN Minister Eric Thohir. After being elected as Minister of BUMN, Eric have a 3 homework. The 3 homeworks, namely first, completed the sectoral building formation program and finally, the establishment of the SOES super building in accordance with government expectation. Second, completing the process of restructuring large SOES that are still losing money. And third, improving SOES governance related to the increasing number of corruption cases in SOES. First 30-day breakthrough. Direction at the first meeting. Wednesday night, October 23, 2019, on the same day after the handover of his position with the previous minister, Eric Thohir immediately held a meeting in the ranks of the Jakarta Bundi Ministry. On his first day, Eric immediately gave direction to his staff in the ministry. Discussed the integration of mass transportation modes. Eric Thohir, accompanied by Kartika Wirjoatmojo, met DKI Gubernur Anies Baswedan to discuss the integration of the transportation system in the capital. The meeting was a directive from President Joko Widodo in the close meeting related to the management of Jabodetabek transportation. Discuss SOE management with Khairul Tanjung. Eric Thohir invited the owner of the Transmedia Group, Khairul Tanjung, to his office in the Ministry of BUMN Jakarta. Khairul Tanjung is optimistic that the management of SOES in the next 5 years can run well. Khairul Tanjung also asked Eric Thohir for a synergy between SOES and the private sector in developing Indonesia's economy. Appoint for special staff. Eric Thohir appoint for special staff from academics and professionals to support his effort to improve BUMN. The 4 special staff will later help him complete the task and accelerate the program. The fourth special staff of the BUMN Minister appointed were Professor Muhammad Isa, Professor Nanang Pramuji, Ade Sunilingga, and Anar Adel. Pros and cons of Ahok's appointment. Ahok's appointment as President Commissioner of PT Pertamina has repeated many pros and cons. Previously, Herik had met Ahok first, and then reported the result of the meeting to President Jokowi. The President said that Ahok still went through the selection process to qualify and serve in one of the BUMNs. The reason for Ahok's appointment as President Commissioner of PT Pertamina was because it needed a veteran figure. Eric proposed Ahok to become a Kamnut Pertamina because Ahok has good experience in the field of supervision. Message from Erick Thohir about Indonesian unity and democracy. Indonesia exists because of diversity. Pancasila is the glue formed by our founding fathers to strengthen our togetherness. Is it not easy from the beginning up until now? Nearly 75 years, this nation has been independent. The challenge of diversity to this day is still looming. The problem of the tolerance to diversity must be one of our common focus, and the spirit of unity in diversity is always present in the souls of Indonesian people. We must remember the nation of Indonesia was born of great difference because of diversity, strong from diversity. There are many forms of nationalism, optimism brought by Jokowi and Kiai Ma'ruf Amin. Indonesian unity and the spirit of mutual cooperation must continue to be our strength in carrying out transformation and various leaps in progress. The key to the success of democracy is not fighting, but it shows a sense of friendship and dignity to all its people. Next, about hope for Indonesia. God willing, in 5 years everything will be better than today and Indonesia will become a developed, just, and prosperous country. Towards an advanced Indonesia, this country needs a leader who not only cares about the people, but also provides clear direction based on the work that has been shown. Indonesia needs a figure of the father of the nation for all Indonesian people, who are able to protect and provide protection for their people. About work, because limitations are not limits to work and benefit others. About education, education is the key. Material will be used up, but education and knowledge will become important capital in life. About sport and football clubs, improving the quality of Indonesian sport in order to compete at the world level is a big responsibility for all of us. We need stability on a very good coach figure, because building a club takes 2 to 3 years. About leadership and management, honest behavior is an obligation for a leader to carry out the mandate given. Management is still the biggest obstacle in Indonesia as well. Plans, action, and strategies are all still not solid.
Hello everyone, I will continue identity books of comparison books entitled Nadiem Makarim. First, title Nadiem Makarim. Second, author Ardi Darmawan, Mugi Artiningsih, Fani A. Prasetya. Third, publisher Andaliman Books. Fourth, years of publication 2020, 5 pages, 225 pages, 6 ESBN 9786237345138. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Naomi Elisa Purba. I want to tell you about Nadiem Makarim. Chapter 1, Story Seat in Kebayoran. The youngest child, named Nadiem Makarim, was born in Singapore. Even though in his daily life, used Indonesian. From the house in Pulau District, Kebayoran Baru District, this child born on July 4, 1984, traveled about 7 kilometers to his school. Starting from this habit, one day, Nadiem grows as a person who is easy to get along with. and empathize with people from various backgrounds like um, taxi drivers to employees and to the president. And Nadim grows up as a person who likes to build things that were previously unthinkable by others. But not all the rules he's made because he follows the nature of his parents who prioritize education is an important element to reach his goals. Next, I want to tell you about Nadiem Makarim, Chapter 2, Teenage Turmoil. At the time his age was still dozen, but had migrated to the United States after graduating from Al-Azan Pondok Labu Elementary School. Nadiem Makarim continued his study at the Dalton School in New York. After attending school at the Dalton School, Nadiem returned to Southeast Asia, but it was not Jakarta, but his destination in Singapore. In 1998, he took a high school equivalent at the United World College of Southeast Asia. All of them prepare many study. If we pay attention so far, the three schools intended by Nadiem have in common. All of them prepare their students the importance of living together, of course, with their respective methods and characteristics. Just imagine, students there come from about easy countries in all counts of the school. This is certainly different from schools in America, where the majority are only Americans. Next, about Nadiem Makarim, Chapter 3, The Chameleon and Petai Fried Rice. Nadiem began his studies at Brown University. He chose the Department of International Relations and Affairs so that one day he could get a job dealing with major global problems. As if he was not satisfied seeking knowledge in the United States while studying at Brown University, Nadiem took the time to attend a student exchange program to the Blue Continent, precisely to London, England. Not having been taught for years at Brown University, he remembered small discussion with his who thought that going to a good school was everything. However, according to Nadiem Makarim, everyone has their own story and way of life. What is good for his certainly not necessarily good for others, and vice versa. Next, about Nadiem Makarim, Chapter 4, After the Loss of Ideas. Jakarta is still the same as when it was the last time Nadiem Makarim went home. In Indonesia, Nadiem wants to home his experience by working in a foreign company as a consultant of McKinsey and Company Indonesian. Nadiem tried to find a way so that the traffic condition in Jakarta did not interfere with his work. He also tried to use a lot of motorcycle taxi encountered in his neighborhood. In a short time, Nadiem became familiar with the two-wheel transportation model. From his experience using motorcycle taxi, Nadiem began to know the world of ojek. Along the way to the office, Nadiem often exchanged stories with motorcycle taxi drivers. And it turns out the story is not much different from one another. Where motorcycle taxi drivers for others at the base. In addition, there are just unwritten rules that apply of motorcycle taxi drivers, namely to take turns carrying passenger.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurusharani. I will continue the next explanation in the book Nadiem Makarim. Harvard Yacht at Object Base. Charles River water flows slowly across building in the city of Boston. This is where Nadiem Makarim went to college from 2009 to 2011. Nadiem Makarim return to America was the result of inner struggle while working in Jakarta. Since working at MC Kinsey and Company Indonesia, Nadiem's goal when establishing Gojek, because this is its higher and experience, Southeast Asian gang collaboration. Along with his graduation at Harvard, so did Aldi, Hanglington, and Anthony Tan, the member of the gang of South Asian from the class 2009, have faced 2 years full of excitement in competing as well as collaboration. Test of the pioneer commitment. In a not too long time, Gojek succeeded in capturing in heart of the people of Jakarta. New strategies. After resigning from the position of managing director of Zalora Indonesia, Nadiem Makarim decided to intern full-time at Gojek. Promotion strategies using social media began to show results. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Deborah Rekayasa Ide from Group 1. I won't tell about Nadiem Makarim. Teenage turmoil. At that time, his age was still a dozen, but had migrated to the United States after graduating from Al Hijan Pondok Labu Elementary School. Nadiem Makarim continued his studies at the Dalton School in New York. After attending school at the Dalton School, Nadiem returned to Southeast Asia, but it was not Jakarta, but his destination in Singapore. In 1998, he took a high school equivalent at the United World College of Southeast Asia. If we pay attention, so far, the three schools entered by Nadiem have in common. All of them prepare their students to become global citizens who are aware of importance of living together. Of course, with their respective methods and characteristics. Just imagine students that come from about 157 countries in all corners of the world. Of his many friends, Nadiem became close with a friend who was both from Indonesia. His name is Michelangelo Moran. The chameleon and Pete Fred Rice. In 2002, Nadiem began his studies at Brown University. He chose the Department of International Relations and Affairs, so that one day he could get a job dealing with major global problems as if he was not satisfied seeking knowledge in the United States while studying at Brown University. Nadiem took the time to attend a student exchange program to the Blue Continent, precisely to London, England. Not having been discussion with his friend who thought that going to good school was not everything. However, according to Nadiem, everyone has their own story and way of life. What is good for him is certainly not necessarily good for others and vice versa. After the loss of ideas in Indonesia, Nadiem wants to hone in experience by working in a forex company as a consultant at MC Kinsey and Company Indonesia. MC Kinsey. Starting in 2006, Nadiem officially has an office. Nadiem tried to find a way so that the traffic condition in Jakarta did not interfere with his work. He also tried to use a lot of motorcycle taxi encountered in his snakeboard. In a short time, Nadiem became familiar with their too transportasi modal. From his experience using motor taxis, Nadim began to know the world of ojek. Along the way to the office, Nadim often exchanged story with the motorcycle taxi driver, and it turned out the story is not much different from one another. Where motorcycle taxi drivers say that a lot of time is wasted waiting for order at the best. In addition, there are just unwritten rules that apply to motorcycle taxi driver, namely to take turns carrying passenger. It was from the chats that made Nadim think more and more hard about how to live as motorcycle taxi driver and solve traffic in Jakarta. With their two well transportasi modal. From his experience using motor taxis, Nadim began to know the world of ojek. Along the way to the office, Nadim often exchanged story with the motorcycle taxi driver, and it turned out the story is not much different from one another. Where motorcycle taxi drivers say that a lot of time is wasted waiting for order at the best. In addition, there are just unwritten rules that apply to motorcycle taxi driver, namely to take turns carrying passenger. It was from the chats that made Nadim think more and more hard about how to live as motorcycle taxi driver and solve traffic in Jakarta. Thank you.
Chapter 12 Innovation and Consistency. For 4 years, trying desperately to come a first innovation, with funds obtained that Nadine can create the application which facilitated the transaction process between consumers and motorcycle taxi drivers. For the first phase, Gojek launched GoRide, GoSend, and GoMart services. Services are that can help people travel can be done by GoRide, and the other services are GoSend and GoMart, where two of these services are fixed further. Successfully launching its first 3 services, now Gojek relaunched a new service, namely GoFood. GoFood is born because many people use GoMart to buy food rather than to order daily needs. Many people doesn't care about this situation, but different from Nadim, see this situation with another perspective. So that many people who previously doesn't install motorcycle that started to install this application to use and take advantage of its GoFood service. Nadim provided insight that successful will not occur if we are not responsive in responding to situation. Chapter 13. It's not just a business. Nadim is a figure who focuses on helping the community, where he created an innovation to solve everyday problems. We can see the influence of motorcycle taxi to the nation and state. For sure, unemployment in Indonesia is decreasing by the presence of Gojek. The motorcycle taxi drivers who come from the motorcycle taxi drivers, some who previously worked elsewhere, and a few who didn't work previously. In a study conducted by institution, which stated that the motorcycle taxi had contributed 44 trillion to the Indonesia economy. Chapter 14. Gojek across the sea. Seeing the background of Nadim, who has a lot of experience aboard, Nadim sadly strived to develop motorcycle in the eyes of the world. The main purpose of Nadim is for Indonesian people to bring Indonesia's name to international world. Initially, Gojek explored Vietnam. Here, Gojek changed its name to GoViet, and Singapore and Thailand. In Thailand, Gojek also changed its names to GetWin or GoRide, GetFood or GoFood, and GetDelivery or GoSend. Many people regretted the decision of the motorcycle taxi to change their name, because that would prevent the motorcycle taxi from introducing the motorcycle taxi in the eyes of the world. But Nadim gave an explanation about it. Nadim is used a locality approach where it believed that the success of motorcycle taxi in the country is not because by product or marketing techniques. Gojek can develop rapidly because it is close to Indonesian society. Indonesian people feel the needs as well as having a motorcycle. And the last, chapter 15. Nadim doesn't walk alone. Nadim is not the only one founder of Gojek. Previously, there had been Branchu and Juristan. Furthermore, there was assistant for two of these colleagues, who were also co-founders, namely Kevin Alui and Mickey Moran. Unfortunately, Branchu and Juristan pursued their respective dreams, like with Mickey Moran. Finally, Nadim and Kevin continued their journey and developed the motorcycle until it was big as now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yuri Maulana. I'm from Group 1. Our presentation about advantage and lack of critical book report from main book. The point 1 is advantage of main book. This book not only explains in writing but also including picture of Eric Thohir in achieving his career. This book come up with words that are easy to understand and have straightforward meanings. This book takes many references from websites on the internet. This chapter is this book are designed to be concise phrases so that they are not boring. The point 2, lack of main book. This book doesn't explain in detail about Eric Thohir teenagers. This book has not references from book. This book doesn't explain how to be a successful person like Eric Thohir. This cover from book doesn't have the characteristic of Eric Thohir. Thank you.
A comparison book. First, this book doesn't include many pictures of Nadim Makarim in career. The second, this book contains everything element that make readers uncomfortable. Third, the book only has 2 chapters, so 3 are some parts which will only be explained.
Okay guys, my name is Brian Juniman Krisnandara. I'm from Group 1 and I will to continue the presentation of my friend. Conclusion of these 2 books, which are better to read by and examine, are the 2 books because both books teach us about how we become successful. Nadim Makarim and Eric Thohir are the 2 figures who used to study abroad, and after get a lot of knowledge, they both return to their homeland to serve in our country, our beloved Indonesia. Thank you.
That's all from us. Thank you so much for your nice attention. We do apologize for every mistake we did. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.